This is the Appliance Alliance podcast, where we are elevating the appliance industry, one podcast at a time. Hey guys, and welcome to the Appliance Alliance podcast. I am your host with the most equipment, Zach Ryder, owner of Gordon's Appliance Repair in Chicagoland, Illinois, and alongside of me, as always, the man with a plan. He needs no introduction, but we're giving him one anyway. Mr. TK Cousins.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a great week this week. We are doing an interview tonight, and it is going to be a good one because if you've hung out in the Appliance Apprentice group, which is now the Appliance Alliance group, you've definitely heard of this company, and you've probably seen this gentleman in the chats. He is the owner of Nana, and I'm not going to go into what Nana is. I'm going to let him do that, but he is a friend of mine, someone that I networked with a few years ago, and he's become somewhat of a mentor for me. He's someone that's always there when I have a question or just talk or whatever. And I'm excited to introduce him tonight. His name is David Zamir. And David, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got into the appliance industry?
Yeah, thank you for the kind words and thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. Zach, TK, thank you. I love the intro.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm an immigrant. I'm an immigrant that immigrated to the U.S. in 2013 and became a citizen in 2016. I married my American wife in 2009. So got my green card in 2010. I'm originally from Haifa, Israel. Was born and raised in Israel. That's the source of my heavy accent. So if you don't understand me, please let me know and I'll try to rephrase and try it again. My father passed away when I was 12 years old, all of a sudden. So I was raised by a single mom. Her name is Nana. So my company's name, Nana, is named after my mom's name. And my mom, Nana, she's a nurse in Israel. Like, she worked really hard, like any single mom, right? Like any single parent. She worked really hard for me and for my sister. And we didn't have a lot of money, right? So I was in the army between 18 to 21. I was in a small secret unit of the Israeli Air Force. And 2 days after I finished my army service in the Israeli Air Force, I moved to the US to become a salesperson. And I started to make money. So for making $150 a month in the Israeli army, now I came to the US and I was a salesperson of a hair straightener in a freaking mall, the job that I hated every day of my life, but I made good money. And I started to make $5,000 a month. Long story short, saved some money for 12 months. And then I moved back to Israel with my American wife and started clothing shops. Between 2010 to 2013, I owned 3 clothing shops in Israel. And then a friend of mine told me that he's been fixing appliances in Toronto and making more than 20 grand profit every month. I didn't believe him. Like, I have 2 left thumbs. I have nothing to do with appliances. I own clothing shops, but I purchased an airplane ticket and I flew to Toronto to shadow my friend. And after 5 days, the light bulb went off. I'm like, my friend can charge consumers whatever he wants because there are not enough technicians. So there's a high demand of technicians. He can charge whatever he wants. And 6 months after, Jules, my wife, and myself, we moved to San Francisco and I started to fix appliances in San Francisco. My friend from Toronto met with me in SF. He mentored me for 148 jobs. And I gave him 15% of my previous business because he mentored me for 148 jobs. Over the next year and a half, he will make $150,000.
Oh, nice.
I bought him out from the business after a year and a half. And he made $150,000 because he mentored me. So if you think about it, he actually made $1,000 per each job he took me out. I will do it all over again in a heartbeat. He changed my life. I admire him for that. I'm very thankful because it wasn't easy to start as an appliance repair technician. I don't know how excited you were when you started to fix appliances. I was depressed, sad, and with a $200,000 worth of debt. And
I was geeked out. I was totally geeked out, but that's my mind.
Yeah.
Not everyone's like that.
Well, you're an audio tech. Like you love the small details. You love the puzzle. You have to understand how it works. I wasn't this way. Everything I did before Nana was for the money's sake. Like Nana is the first company that I really did, like that I actually want to do good in the world. Before I was an entrepreneur. Like when people said, I'm building this company to change the world, I'm like, no, you're not. Like you're just like all of us. You just try to survive and make money and put food on the table. But I started an appliance repair company. I started to fix appliances. And within the next 4 months, I already started to train my first appliance technician because I couldn't find an appliance repair technician to work for me. And then I asked for my wife to come into the business to help me. So Julianne, answered the phone calls, booked the appointments. At the beginning, we used to dispatch jobs with text messages. Then we upgraded to Google Calendar. So we had 5 technicians after a year. And each technician had his own Google Calendar. And we just posted it on the Google Calendar. And then we moved to a different software a year after. And within 2.5 years, I moved from being an appliance support technician to being a manager of 5 appliance support technicians to managing 10 appliance support technicians, and then building a dispatch office, the customer service functionality, finance department to reconcile all of the parts and the commissions for the technicians, and the marketing department that was responsible to advertise. We used to spend about $50,000 a month on SEM in the Bay Area alone. And I kept going, but I was able to scale my business thanks to the people and thanks to the system. And the system is the software. And I was able, in the industry, it's very common to pay technicians, let's say, a 40% commission, right? Some companies are being very generous, and maybe it's 50%. So if you think about it, an appliance repair technician, if he works with a phenomenal business owner, and he or she make $50, let's say that the labor charge in a job is $100, they make 50%, they make $50 per work order, right? And that's in the best case scenario. Most of the businesses actually pay only 40% commission, and some businesses like Sears, Best Buy, paying an hourly rate of anywhere between $22 to $35 an hour, not include overtime. But then they're asking from you to do 10 jobs a day. So if you think about it, they're actually paying you $18 a job, not $40.
They don't care how you get all those jobs done either. They don't care if you have to drive 2 hours to get a parts.
They don't care at what time you're coming back home. They want you to work 6 days a week, and that's fine. That's their business. That's like nothing for us to judge. But it's really, you two just talked about burnout. Think about the burnout of a Sears technician or a different company that will literally go into 2,500 work orders a year. I would imagine that it's really tough. And we had people from these companies that joined the Nana software, the Nana marketplace, and now taking jobs from the Nana marketplace. And it's a life-changing for them because they went from making $18 per work order to making $80 per work order. So long story short, I'm just an appliance repair technician that decided that there is no software out there that really could give more for my technicians. So I decided to build it myself. So after only having $200K in debt and almost bankrupting my businesses in Israel, moving to here, making money, paying back my debt, then I sold my businesses in Israel, made okay for myself. And then I took all of the cash and money that I had, I invested it back in Nana to build the software. And after I invested around $900K, I also raised another $10 million, $10.7 million. So that's the story of Nana. Nana is a software for appliance repair technicians that also offering them jobs from B2B partners. We don't advertise, like B2B partners like Samsung, LG, GE, Mila. believe that Nana over time will become the software that will allow technicians to see the jobs that Nana knows they are best at. So technicians on the Nana platform can come and do only Samsung ice makers. And the question is like, why won't they go to Samsung and do it directly with them? Is because then Samsung calls them. And then they need to go to the portal at the night time. And then they need to chase down the money. And then they need to like answer phone calls and basically running these operations. And Nana does that for them. So Nana basically gives technicians, appliance support technicians, superpowers. Today we have hundreds of people already that using our software in 12 markets nationwide. And we soon are going to open the software in a way that all appliance support technicians can use it regardless if they're taking jobs from the Nana marketplace or not. So there is a marketplace, there is a school that we built, a Nana Academy, and soon there is also going to be a vertical software as a service, similar to other job management tools that you probably familiar with today.
Do you plan on offering jobs nationwide or eventually?
You know, TK, it not depends on me. I will share with you that our B2B partners asked us already to go nationwide, and some of them asked us to go also globally. We already have B2B partners to ask us if we want to launch in UK. So at the end of the day, I'm at service of appliance support technicians, and I'm at service of the B2B partners, right? And Nana is representing the technicians, and Nana representing the B2B partners, and we just need to find the equilibrium of like this perfect balance between the two.
Yeah, I love it. I've been, just for the past few years since I met you and the whole gang over there at Nana, I just love I love your passion for the appliance industry, because I'm passionate about it, and so is Zach. And I think that's why me and you kind of hit it off. We both have that passion to uplift the community, and I really love your backstory and just how you came here and really you're already doing great things, but you're only going to do better things going forward. Let me ask you this question, not to get off the topic of Nana, but when you were running your business and you got to 10 techs in, what was it, 2 years? Were these guys, did they already have experience, or did you train them from scratch?
Only one of them had experience. A nice guy named Sean Clifton. If you are hearing us today, it was a pleasure being your boss. But yeah, it's only one guy was a W2 at the beginning. The rest of them were people that I trained myself, and they actually started to train each other. So nice. The first 5 I trained myself, then they started to train each other.
So what was your turnaround like? Just because I know a lot of our guys are new business owners, guys that are growing their businesses. What was your turnaround like? So you get a brand new guy, he's never taken apart a dryer before. How long before you have that guy in a van running calls and doing the whole, the call by themselves?
It really depends on the person. And it's not only, you need to have the education. So you need to understand how appliance operates, and you can focus on dryers. So now the person understand how it operates. And it's also a matter of soft skills with customers, because you're sending people into their home. And it's also a matter of self-confidence.
Yeah.
So it was anywhere between 21 days to 45 days, basically.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we're really dealing with now, is as we're trained, we trained our first guy, we spent 6 months on him. And then this new guy, I kind of want to give him like kind of what we're doing right now is he rides with us 3 days a week, and then he's going to run dryer calls 2 days a week.
Are you paying him for the training?
Yeah, we're paying him while he's training.
So he's basically a W2 employee. Yeah,
basically. Yep. So yeah, that's good to know though, because I've been a little apprehensive, but it's good to know that, and I agree with you 100%. It's one of those things where you have to do it on an individual basis, and some people are going to catch on quicker, and some people are going to take a little more hand holding, but eventually they gotta
it's so important to do the right filtering early on of the process. So first of all, you're looking for a good human being, like somebody that will be respectful, somebody that you want to go for a 2 weeks hike with. That's one. The second thing, you want to give him or her some sort of a test to understand like how they operate, how their mind works, right? And then you want to give 100% of yourself. If you don't give 100% of yourself to your apprentice because you don't feel great about these two first elements, it's not going to work. So really double down is like be very exclusive and precise in your process of onboarding the right individual for the apprenticeship. Because if you're not unsure about the person, it's not going to work and it's going to be a waste of time for everybody.
Great.
So
points.
I want to break into the system of Nana, not to kind of steer down the other path, but I feel like I offended you the first time we talked about this because I didn't have anything to compare it to. But I'm going to bring the comparison up because I know there's people thinking like I did at first, and I know this because we've gotten feedback in the negative sense, and they're wrong, by the way, and you're going to clear that up, and I'm very excited for that. But I compared it to Uber for Appliance Techs because I didn't have anything else to like wrap it around. And as we've talked, like I really have a good understanding, but I want you to kind of expand on what the marketplace you're talking about is for Nana and how that works. And then we'll kind of delve into some other stuff as far as Nana goes.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Zach. It's something that has been waiting on my heart because I'm like, no, we're not trying to kick appliance support technicians off. We can't, right? Uber has a vision of like automating drivers away. Like you can't automate appliance support technicians away. But in the sense of Uber, an Uber driver pick up a passenger and drops them off. It's not going to happen in appliance support world. Like you have reviews, you have a local community that trusted you for all of these years. They appreciate you. You are honest. This customer is yours for life. That's it. Like this is your customer. It doesn't matter how big of a company or how cheap the service will be, because how cheap can the service be 75% cheaper? Probably not. Right? It can't. There's a truck roll, how much it costs, how much you pay for the individual that's going out. So let's say that the service is even $25 cheaper. The person already gained your trust. You're walking into their temple. Like they build your relationship with you. Like Nana or anyone else won't be able to take this away. So Nana at the end of the day is a software for appliance repair technicians, and if you want, you can take jobs from the marketplace. As simple as that. But Nana can never put technicians away. Nana can never take other companies out of business because these companies have their own consumers, their own customers, their own referrals, and that's how it's always going to stay.
So I think the ones who are pushing back to me, right? Because we just heard TK kind of talk about it. It's really hard to get technicians. So I think the ones who are pushing back the most are business owners like, oh, well, you're going to take all my technicians away and you're paying so much better than I ever can.
Yeah.
But here's what I see, and tell me where your thought process is with this. It's twofold. Number one, not everyone's cut out to be a business owner, and technically, as a Nana marketplace person, you still have a business piece of that. There's still a piece of the business that you have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
And so that's not for everyone, right? The second piece of that is, and I don't know how this would work, and that's why I'm posing the question. We all have slow times in the year where it requires more to market to get the jobs, right? And so I feel like even in my business, if we're slow, I can go in the Nana marketplace and get my guy a job.
Yeah.
But
I was a business owner. I had 25 technicians, appliance repair technicians in 2016. I had 15 dispatchers and customer service agents. I had 3 people in the marketing team. and I had one person in the finance department and another person part-time.
That's a lot of overhead.
Yeah,
if you're not hearing that, that's a lot of overhead.
A lot of overhead, more than $200,000 a month in the Bay Area. And I decided to take this profitable business and build a better future for technicians. And there are businesses out there similar to the business that I owned for 25 technicians. If I didn't give enough value to the technician himself, I want to live in a beautiful America. And a beautiful America is where the technician has prosperity. Not necessarily one individual that make a lot of money. I made more than $50,000 a month. My technicians still made 6 or 7. If I'm as a business owner or a regional manager making 15 or 20 or 25 and my technician can take 7 or 8 or 9 and 10 or 11, I think that's a more beautiful society. And that's what I'm after. And I spoke to TK about it as well. Companies with 3 technicians and 5 technicians, which is the sweet spot when it comes to profitability, because then you have only one CSR. It's a beautiful company, right? Because you have the local family-oriented community that you built and the trust with your technicians. And if you pay them 50% commission, they won't go anywhere. They won't go anywhere because they are there for TK. They are there for Zach. Bigger companies, similar to the one that I own, with 25 technicians, 50 technicians, 100 technicians, they don't generate enough value. If there is a better world for the technicians and the technician can do better and make more money, I'm as a technician and yourself included will go to this better world, this marketplace. So business owner needs to find ways to generate more value for the individuals, and that's what competitions do. That's why the capitalism is so beautiful. Right? Competition drives you to do better for the people in your organization. I do foresee a world where people that are business owners actually partnering with Nana. At the end of the day, I'm going to talk now to business owners that managing more than 25 technicians. They are fighting really hard to keep 10% net profit for the business. So even if you make let's say $250,000 gross bookings a month, you're trying to net anywhere between 6% to 15% net profit. In the appliance repair industry, it's pretty tough. And if you're capable of doing it, you're a very talented business owner, right? Let's make it easy. Let's call it 10%. So you're looking at $25,000 gross bookings, not including sales tax. You're netting, let's say, $25,000 a month. The headache that you have as a business owner, at least 25% of this $250,000 are going on overhead. As a business owner in America, it's not only to cash money in the end of the month, it's also protect yourself from lawsuits. It's also making sure that nobody's getting inherited jobs. You don't sleep at night, you work 7 days a week, you gain weight, you don't see your family. It's really freaking tough. So I believe that there is a world out there which I decided to follow. I was this business owner. My business partnered with Nana. The appliance producer now is, if you call this phone number, is Nana Answers, right? So I did it myself as a business owner. If there is a world where I can become a regional manager for Nana, right? And now I can net still this 5-10% because I manage a region. And as Nana grow, I have also shares in Nana and I can increase my net worth because the shares will increase. It's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for the technicians. It's a win-win for the business owner because he doesn't need to own all of this overhead and all of the risk associated with being the business owner. It's a win-win for the family and it's a win-win for the society. That's my answer.
Great answer.
Yeah, it's a solid answer, man. I think that should shut down just about any arguments that we've heard back. I do and that's why I brought it up. I felt bad when I equated it to Uber, just because I didn't understand it. I feel like a lot of people that have heard of you don't truly understand it. And that's why we really wanted to do this podcast. And the other piece of that is your software too.
Change is really scary, dude. Change is scary. You feel like the corporate is getting pulled under your feet. You're going to fall back. You have all of these liabilities. You're a business owner. You worked all of your life, 15 years to get to this point, and like suddenly this new software coming into this place with this Israeli-American dual citizenship that's going to ruin my life and destroy my dreams. Guys, like since the beginning of humanity, like it was always the case. Like the certainty does not exist. We always need to strive better and be willing to be open to a change, because that's what makes this world so beautiful. And I'm a believer. I gave my comfortable life to go back into this like startup mode, like driving hard to make it a better world for technicians, and that's what I believe in.
No, I so appreciate you and what you're building, and I look forward to developing a friendship over the years, because you're just such a neat guy, David. It's been fun. So this is the second time we've interviewed David. We had some technical issues the first time, and so this is the second time. And
when he says we, he means TK.
I wasn't going to call you out. Technical issues. I wasn't going to call you out and throw you under the bus, but yeah, it was.
It's okay.
No, but it's like if you're not hearing the business knowledge of a business owner who's been there, done that, and failed, or not necessarily failed, but run his head into a brick wall, right? He's dropping a ton of knowledge for you guys today. So if you're a business owner, rewind, listen to this again. Listen to the knowledge that he's spitting. If you're a technician, there's some great things coming for you. If you're a business owner, there is some great things coming for you, because there's that sweet spot of 3 to 5 technicians. The software that he's developing, I can't wait to preview it, man. I really do. I want to see behind the scenes. Again, technician, cool. I got to know how it works. I got to know the puzzle. But like, there's some really cool stuff coming, and you're doing really great things for the industry. And, one of the things that TK and I are big on is that, and I say it all the time, this is my phrase, we're definitely making this t-shirt. A rising tide raises all the ships, right? And that's what you're doing. I heard you say it a little bit earlier. You want to give back, and you're doing this to help other people. And, you thought about other people that were doing that and saying, oh, no, you're just after it for the money. You're not. You're actually living that life, right? Of adding value to other people's lives. And that's what's made you successful. That's what's made Nana successful, is that you're pumping value back into other people's lives.
Thank you, Zach.
So if you're out there and you're just chasing the dollar, take that piece of advice. We talked about it in the burnout episode. Take that piece of advice and add value to someone else's life and watch what happens. So cool. This has been such a fun conversation. Is there a timeline on when that software is making its way into the wild? Because that's something that affects all of us companies that are out there, and technicians even on their own. Like, there's no single piece of software that any of us have found that's one size fits all for appliance repair.
Yeah. So individuals that are working by themselves or working for other companies that they're not happy already can join the software and find jobs in the marketplace. We are in San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, Austin, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, Sacramento, San Diego, LA, Salt Lake City, Oklahoma. So they can already access it. When it comes to individuals that don't want to take jobs from the marketplace, so it's going to be phased out. We believe that the first iterations will come out towards Q3, Q4 this year, and then a massive exposure next year.
That's so cool.
Nice.
I'm really excited for that. Like it's everything I wished I had as an appliance repair technician, and even as a business owner, it really gives you full visibility. Like we have a KPI dashboard that has 8 major KPIs. We call it the core 8, that basically fulfillment rate, CSAT customer score, how many jobs created, how many jobs completed, like what's the unit economics of the job after parts cost, so how much revenue am I actually keeping after I paid my technicians. And it's really neat. It's really, the visibility into your business is so important, because sometimes you're in the dark. Like there are some people that just paying with credit cards and like taking care of looking at the credit card expenses at the end of the month, and they say, okay, that was my parts, right? But as you scale in the business, you get into commissions and recalls, and which technician you shouldn't send anymore to a mini dishwasher jobs because he's not feeling comfortable with mini dishwasher jobs, or maybe send them more content when it comes to like teach them more on mini dishwasher jobs. And that's why I'm so excited about the Nana Academy. Here at Nana, like appliance repair for us, it's the start. We really want to build the trade skills of the future, the trade schools of the future, where hopefully we can create at least 1 million jobs across trades. If now it's appliances, we need another 25,000 appliance repair technicians by 2026. Because 40% of our industry today are baby boomers that are going to retire in the next 5 years. And usually during pandemics and economic depressions, which we are heading into one, there is a volatile market. So people that are baby boomers just don't feel like dealing with that, and they just retire before. So there is a need of 25,000. We can create 25,000 jobs in the appliance repair trade, but then you have another more than 150,000 jobs in HVAC, and you have more than 550,000 jobs in construction, and it will just keep going, right? Like I know I'm going to say something really scary, and we as America, as appliance repair technicians, we are in a very good place, but more than 35 million people are going to lose their jobs by 2033. Like that's in the US. Like imagine like 20% of the workforce is going to be unemployed. So we must reskill people now before like this huge tsunami come and wash shore, like hit the shore. Because imagine living in a society where people don't have money, people are on food stamps, people are unemployed. It's usually leading to violence and conflicts, domestic violence. And that's what we are here at Nana, we are trying to solve. And for us to really be successful, we need to succeed in appliance repair. Because when we are successful in appliance repair, we can tap into hundreds of millions of dollars to go after this problem in any other trade. And that's our vision here, is like, let's really focus on appliance repair and do it the right way so we can actually create jobs in the US.
And one question, I already know the answer to this question, but the Nana Academy, how much does it cost? How does it work? And how do people sign up for that? If I don't know anything about appliances and I want to learn a little bit about, I know there's different courses out there that cost thousands of dollars. How much is the Nana Academy, and how do you sign up?
It's free of charge.
Free?
Free of
No
charge.
way.
Let me explain the rationale.
No way.
I'll explain the rationale. So Nana Academy is free. You can go to nanaacademy.org. So www.nanaacademy.org, and you just register as a student and you can go through the academy for free. There is academy, and then there is in-person mentorship. The mentorship is not free. The mentorship, you are paying for the mentorship from future jobs that you're going to do on the platform. Very much so like I did, but you're not going to pay $1,000 per job. You're going to pay $8 per job. But you pay $8 per job only if you participate in the Nana Marketplace. So we came and we said, we believe that education needs to be free for Americans, and of course to all citizens of the world, but we believe that education should be free. And if we did a good job and we proved our value, this individual now would like to participate in the Nana Marketplace and partner with Nana. And then Nana takes anywhere between $15 to $25 per work order as a fee, right? As an operating field. Think about it like a personal franchise. And we make money. That's our revenue. So we actually teach people for free, teaching them the trades, hoping that they will join the marketplace. So that's the business model. And that's why we are capable to do it for free. There are other schools out there that don't have the marketplace component, so they must charge anywhere between $300 to $3,000, depends which school you're choosing to go with, because that's their business model. In the Nana world, because we have the academy and then the marketplace, we can offer education for free. And hopefully soon I'll have a very exciting news to share with you when it comes to partnerships with manufacturers that are going to help us build this world.
So let me tell you, in the time that it took him to explain that, I've already signed up and I could have started a course by now.
That's awesome.
That's how fast it is. So we'll drop that link in the descriptions for you guys so you can go out there and sign up for a little bit of free training, as well as find out a little bit more about Nana. David, it has been a blast to have you on, and there's so much more because we talked about so much more the last time. There's so much more to what this company is and the value you have to add. But I really appreciate all the other stuff we talked about today. Like, you're just a really neat guy that really cares. And I think for our audience, you've just added so much value today. And I want to thank you for that. You're just, you're a really cool guy. And I can't wait to grow our friendship.
Thank
TK,
you,
do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I always have a little bit of closing thoughts. First off, thanks, David, for coming. Sorry about last week, but we definitely made up for it this week. I just am really excited to see. I've already seen a little sneak peek of the software. David gave me a little tour of it, and I can just say this. No matter who you are, if you're in the appliance industry, once this is available to everybody, you're going to be interested because it's sweet. And also, I just want to thank you and Luis and the rest of the Nana crew. I haven't met everybody, your wonderful wife, for doing what you're doing in the appliance community. Because, you know, you have your Facebook group, you have the Nana Academy, you have the mentorship. And there's just so much value there. And I love that. I love the fact that, you know, when I was one of the people when I first started talking about Nana on Facebook, and people were messaging me saying this, that, and the other. And I told them from the beginning, I was like, if you have all these questions about Nana, ask David or ask Luis or ask any of these people. It's not like y'all are secretive about what you're doing. And once you see the value of what Nana brings, I think a lot of people have gotten a lot of people love it. But then the naysayers are the ones that just don't understand it yet. But once they do understand it, it could be a game changer for them and their business as well. I truly believe. You know,
like at the end of the day, in 5 years, 10 years from now, everybody can look back and say, "Oh, like I said it, I said that, and it actually happened." And like we want our actions to speak. So hopefully, we can really prove to the industry that we are working really hard for them, for the technicians, and we are going to give all that we have to make this a reality.
Well, thank you again for coming on, David.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. It has been a blast to have you on, David. And I just want to add a little side note, little funny at the end of this. We had our guests just say, "At the end of the day." So
he said it several times. I actually heard it.
It's catching
That's
on.
That's my catchphrase. If you didn't know, David. At the end of the day.
So, guys, that has been this episode of the Appliance Alliance podcast. And man, my brain is full. I'm going to have to watch this a couple more times. It was an awesome conversation with David Zamir from Nana, doing big things in the appliance repair industry. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. If you're listening on audio, make sure you give us a rating so that it finds its way into the wild a little more, and we can do our part to help grow the appliance repair industry as well. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Appliance Alliance, signing off.